Hey all, Hibber here. So today I'm taking out the Martel, and it's been a while. Well, actually it hasn't been a while, it's only a few weeks since I last played it. But I just felt like playing it this weekend here, and it actually did pretty well. So I picked this battle here, which I really enjoyed. And more people should enjoy the ship, because it's actually really good. Yes, it struggles a little bit in legendary battles, but I mean, what cruiser doesn't struggle there, really? And it's a bit of an actually a very underplayed ship. I think I see it very, very rarely out there. And that's a shame, because it's actually good. So let's just look at my Agile build here, because I always run Agile build on Martel. It was my first Agile cruiser, and the one that paved the way. So Roux, 16.4, Baltimore, the Cow, Ingenious, full speed ahead, Velocious, steer clear, and fully packed. So box standard Agile build here. And on the ship, I have the aiming systems, and then I have double rudder in slot 2 and 3, and then I have improved reload in the last slot here. So 3 sonars, 3 heals, and 3 engine boosts. The heals on Martel, they're mostly there for show, really. They're not very good. 1.9 second rudder, exactly the sweet spot, and 37 knots. But of course that's before speed boost. With speed boost you can hit 43, I believe, something like that. Let's have a look. What am I going now? 41 something. So 42, 43 should be doable. Here, there's a perfectly broadside battleship, and I'm just wondering, what is this Colorado doing? Because I don't want to give up my my position to shoot at it, because I'm not going to be able to sink it. But he might actually be able to depth strike this Flandra here, but he's not even shooting at it. And I like, what do you do with players like that? I mean, these are the reasons that games are lost, because like no one just understands what they're supposed to do. I mean, he got away with going broadside like that for a full minute in front of a fully loaded battleship, and yeah, you just have to take these situations here with a laugh and think, well, sometimes that happens when I'm on that team. So just, you know, don't despair, although it's really hard, I know. I mean, it's like a known fact that on the weekends, the average play in this game here is just so bad. It takes a turn for the for the horrible. I mean, the play is always like average at best, but on the weekends and you know, public holidays and stuff like that, yikes, it's pretty bad. But I play on the weekends regardless, because occasionally you actually have fun, and occasionally. So the Baltimore has taken the long way, and yeah, that's a mistake. That's always a mistake on this map here. Every time, doesn't matter which ship you're in. If you take the long way, yeah, I don't know what you're doing, because you're just giving away the cap. And the only ships that can really pull it off are the extremely fast ships. The ships that can go about 43 plus knots. So actually Martel could pull it off, but so we're just gonna get a few citadels on him here, because he's not being careful. 2 citadels is very nice. So just to get back to what I said before, if you have a really fast ship like a French destroyer or Martel here, or Khabarovsk, perhaps Tashkent as well, you can possibly take that route, you know, the long route, and then approach the cap just like the Baltimore is doing here. But if you're in a Baltimore, yeah, don't do that, because all you're going to do is just give away the cap and, you know, put yourself in an awful situation, because he's caught in there now in a really tight channel, and he's using the usual Baltimore trick here, trying with his AP to use those improved penetration angles to take me out. But I'm in a Martel with 1.9 second rudder, and once I just get angled for this stupid destroyer here, then every time he fires, I'm just gonna, you know, out angle him and then make sure that the AP doesn't bite, like that, and that's it. Like, there's nothing he can do, and you'll see in a few salvos he starts shooting HG, because yeah, he knows I'm going to win this engagement here, and that's how you beat a Baltimore. It's really easy. It's just because people don't understand that you should angle correctly towards a Baltimore, and also don't hit any islands either. That's also usually a bad thing. Uh, but if you just, keep trolling the Baltimore like this, you're going to win any engagement. And really, the problem here is actually the Fletcher keeps setting me on fire. It's super annoying. So I need to get out of his range, and then I need to set a few fires on the Baltimore here. And you see now he's shooting HE, because, I think he just got tired of bouncing every shell. So that's it. And I also got a torp hit on the battleship, the Flandra from before, the one that the Oklahoma refused to shoot at. So he's going to flood out here in a few seconds. And then I'm thinking, oh, it's a double kill time, because that Baltimore is just about to go. I'm just going to make sure that he goes within 10 seconds. And we got a double strike. Yay! Okay. So I have certainly done my part over here on this side of the map here. Well, not exactly. The destroyer got away. Unfortunately, I was kind of hoping he would go for the cap now so I could take him out here. But he didn't. And yeah, well, is it a smart play? I don't know. I probably would have gone for the cap. But I guess he is the only destroyer on his team, so I suppose he has to be a little careful. So we've lost 2 battleships already, and 1 battleship is, sitting behind 2 islands here. That Colorado, he's never going to get into the battle again. So we're pretty much down 3 battleships. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to leave the sea cap here to these 2 battleships here, so that hopefully they can defend it. And especially now that I see that Fletcher is actually heading towards the middle of the map, then I'm just going to leave the battleships here, because, yeah, they didn't really do what I hoped they would do. So I'm going to go towards B now, because we need to get a cap. Right? We are pretty much equal on points, but I can tell that my team is going to throw. I could tell that already, like a minute into the battle. So the only way to win this battle here is on points, and just gotta keep an eye on that carrier there, because he looks like he wants to do a little bit of a torp strike. So just make sure that I get the island in the way so he can't actually do it. I still have to keep an eye on him though, because he's probably just going to turn around and then try again. Or he's going to go for the battleship, which he is. So that's fine. Anyway, moving in towards B. And you can see what it's looking really bad now. 4 versus 6. And we only have 2 battleships left. And like I said, they're positioned horribly. Like terribly. I don't know what they're doing. And obviously I'm going to run into 4 battleships going this way. But if I don't do that, if I don't grab this B cap here, then we're not going to win. It's very, very simple. Because all they have to do, the Reds, all they have to do is defend B. And I mean, they have a destroyer to spot and torp. They also have their carrier still. So it's going to be really easy. So my only option here is to grab this cap early on and then see if I can't, flee in the confusion, really. And that way we might actually win on points if we can keep the Reds from taking the B back then. Of course, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one thinking these things, because that's usually the way it is. So I'm going to set a few fires. Every time I'm within spotting range, I just shoot, because why not get some damage. And then we used the fast rudder to avoid the Georgia shells. He was shooting HE for some odd reason, but this King George here is also on the warpath, so we just make sure that we don't take more damage than we absolutely have to. And as you can see, I can't take the cap here. I have to get into cover behind this island here, because these battleships here, they actually know what they're doing, because they're spreading out a little bit, meaning that they can catch me in crossfires. So I have to be in a position here where I'm unspotted, which means I cannot cap anymore. And yeah, it's just too bad, because had I been able to grab that cap there, we might have a chance. We could have a chance of still winning this battle here. But I was just 1 battleship salvo away from being removed from the game. So I thought that, okay, well, I'm just going to have to bide my time and see if another opportunity comes up. Or perhaps an opportunity to grab A instead of B, because we still have 6 minutes left. So in the meantime, we can farm this Nagato here, and like I said, my battleships are just horribly positioned. They're so slow, and they both went down to C, and there's no reason for that. 1 battleship spawned down there, that's fine. The other battleship that spawned at B should not have gone to C. Like, I could have used him here right now, because I'm facing pretty much the whole red team. And I'm trying to slow their progress down and perhaps sink one of them. But the odds are obviously against me here. I'm facing 4 battleships, a destroyer and a carrier, so there's no way I'm gonna be unspotted at any point now. I have to rely on cover. And now that Georgia is pushing in, so we're gonna have to throw a Hail Mary here, because they've got me now. I have battleship to my right, one in the middle, and one on my left. And it's just a matter of time until one of them gets the turrets, you know, turned around and actually takes me out. So we're going to see if we can't remove this Georgia here from his misery. He's going to fire, and fires high explosives again. And it just makes me wonder how my team actually died to these guys here, because there's an awful lot of battleship HE going on here in this game. And well, who knows. Anyway, torps are away, and he should take at least one, and that should remove him from the game here. And of course I'm full broadside to whoever is lurking over here, and there's not much I can do about that. I was in a tight spot, and that's just too bad. But I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm almost at 200,000 damage, and I've certainly done my part, and my XP is going to be fine. So I don't worry about a loss, really. It doesn't really bother me. As long as I can, you know, get decent XP, then yeah, it's all good. So that was the end of me here. And yeah, somehow the other battleship has managed to die over at sea, although there's hardly any enemies over there. The last battleship is being, you know, like molested by the carrier and the destroyer, and I mean, that's what I could see happening 10 minutes ago. So in the interest of time, because I think everyone knows that this battle here is a loss, and I can tell you that the battleships get sunk and the carrier survives, but we still lose, obviously. So I'm just going to skip the last very, very boring part here, by the way. So yeah, just bear with me. Alright, so that was another battle in the original Agile cruiser in this game. The first and the original, and still one of the best, actually. 192,000 damage, 2100 XP in a loss, and yeah, pretty good. So hope you enjoyed it, and see you out there.